Hello everybody and welcome back to Timberborn. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and hopefully get dynamite production going here. So I went ahead and unlocked the building and the dynamite sticks themselves, but we need at least 30 metal for the building here. So we need to go ahead and build an outpost over by the metal stuff here. So we need one of the scavenger flags down to go ahead and harvest the metal, and we need the shredder to go ahead and produce the metal. So we need to go ahead and build an outpost over by one of these things. So we have this one over here, which we already have an outpost, but it's not going to be anywhere near the range required to go ahead and hit that thing. And we also have one right here behind our base, but it's going to be out of range from this place anyway, so we're going to have to build another outpost if we go with that one. Do we have one closer? We don't have anything closer, so it's going to have to be this one here, just to kind of save some time here. So let's go ahead and build a road out to it. And if we go ahead and click on the main building here, which is this guy, we can see that we don't have the range for it. So we need to actually remove one of the pieces of road here, just so that we can go ahead and plop down one of the district gates here, so we can go ahead and enable another village to be built here. So first things first, we need to go ahead and plop down one of these guys, which is going to be a district center, which is going to allow us to go ahead and bring people from the other place to here. And we'll go ahead and just plop that right here for right now. That should be fine. And we're going to also need some storage, so we'll just go ahead and do the initial little one, or yeah, we'll do the little one for right now. That should be fine. Let's also go ahead and throw a couple houses here. We can go ahead and do, we're not going to have a lot of people here. We need somebody to go ahead and harvest, and then we need somebody just going back and forth. Really, we're not going to have water or anything here, so we'll just do a normal, actually no, let's do the bigger house so that we can have 6 people here. And that should be more than enough of beavers here to go ahead and do what we need. And then let's see, we're going to also drag some water over here for them. So we'll have a small water tank. That should be enough to go ahead and support these guys. We need one of these, which is a drop-off post, so we can go ahead and bring stuff to the town here. So we can go ahead and plop that there. That's right at the gate. So hopefully they can go ahead and do it a little bit quicker here, which is going to be nice. And if we have food going there, we need something for the lumber as well, because we're going to be building with lumber. And then that should be all that we need, I believe. We can store food here. We can store the planks there. We have the water, the logs, and a house for them to go ahead and move into. So let me go ahead and have these guys bring some of the stuff over here. So we need to add a route. We need to go ahead and bring some, what do we have a lot of? So in between episodes, we actually had the granary and the bakery thing finished building. And I didn't realize it, but we get 1 flour to turn into 5 pieces of bread. And I think it's 1 to 1. So it's pretty decent, right? We jumped up in food a whole lot. We're sitting at 1,300 food right now, and that's mostly just because of the bread. Like, we got a big surplus of bread there for a second. So we're going to go ahead and have them drag some of the berries over, I guess is what we'll go ahead and have them bring. So let's have some berries. I kind of wish we could set like a limit. We don't want them to bring like 1,000 berries, but we can't really do that, I don't think. We have a capacity of 300 in this little building and the warehouse itself there. So let's have them bring some other stuff with them as well. And then we're also going to have to build one of the other buildings here, actually, because we need the metal scrap to come back. Unless we want to build the scrapping machine here with them, which we could do. We just need planks and gears. Or we could leave it in the main base because it needs power to run. So we might want to just go ahead and connect it into our little power area here. So yeah, we'll just bring the stuff back with it. Let me unlock it just so we have it. And so we're going to have to actually place down one of these guys. Where's it at? This one. And the distribution post is what we're going to need. So let's go ahead and plop that there. And we should still be good. So we need lumber and logs, or logs and planks for that. We just need logs, just logs again. Okay. So let's also have these guys bring a couple of planks with them. That should be more than enough for what we need. Hopefully we don't bring too many. That should be good. Planks, logs, and berries. We also need to have them bring some water before I forget about that. Let's do some water. That should be good. And then once these guys bring a little bit of that stuff over here to the drop-off point and we have some in it, we're going to go ahead and transport some of the people over here so they go ahead and build. I also want to go ahead and start laying down another little neighborhood here. So I want to go ahead and eventually remove all of these ones here because we can only store 3 people per house here and it's not really that great. And I want to go ahead and replace them all with these ones, the triple lodges. And I want to have it up here just out of the way of all of the green grass so we can actually start kind of placing down more of the water things and more food and stuff as well, instead of eating up the area here with houses and storage containers and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and place houses up here. And I'm not quite sure how I want to do this just yet, because I would like to have a row and then another row like that. Trying to see if we can actually squeeze stuff in like this. Could we run a road like that and then maybe have houses here? We would eat up a little bit of space because we're not quite flush with the backside of this thing. Maybe we pause it for a second, and then if we place a house there and a house there, so we're right against the edge, we can place another one there, and then we wouldn't be able to place one there. We would have a 2-space gap. Too far from builders. Does this thing not go all the way? Oh, you know why it's probably doing that? Let me connect that in really quick. Does that fix it? It does fix it. Okay, cool. So if we were to run another house here, that would leave a 2-space gap, and we can run one there, and then we'd have a 2-space gap at the end. But I think we can go ahead and squeeze these ones in those areas, so that would kind of work. We can have one there and there. And then we would have a 1-space gap there, which we can go ahead and place a water container here to go ahead and have water near the houses. But then we have the front side of the houses all open and kind of wasting space a little bit here. You know what? I think I'm actually going to hold off on placing down this neighborhood until we unlock this one here. This is the biggest storage container thing that we have, the biggest warehouse that we have available. So I want to go ahead and hold off until we have that unlocked. That way we can kind of build the neighborhood around that, so we have food and water in the proximity of the houses here, instead of having the warehouses in one section and then the houses in another. So I'm going to go ahead and hold off on doing that just for a little bit here. Do we have stuff here just yet? We do have a decent amount of stuff. So we can go ahead and move the 6 of those people over there. Let me go ahead and have them move to District 3. We're going to have 6 adults move on over so that we can go ahead and begin the scrapping of the place here. I'm going to go ahead and place down the scrapping thing after these things are done getting built, so that way they're not scrapping instead of building their stuff here. Hopefully it's kind of what the plan here is. Let me go ahead and do that as well so it builds a little bit quicker. And do we have anybody that is currently unemployed in this place? No, we have 52 out of 52 employed, so we can go ahead and just leave it be. I want to go ahead and replace this dam here with floodgates so that we can kind of control the flow of water coming out of here. So we're going to run the floodgate tier 1, and we're just going to go ahead and go across like that. And then we are going to go ahead and place down some platforms here to go ahead and allow them to build the floodgates. And then once these things are done, I'm going to go ahead and remove the dam that's here as well, so that we can at least kind of control the water flow. Hopefully, it's kind of what I'm thinking here. So these buildings are actually 2 stories, and the door is on the 2nd floor. So we actually have to build a staircase up to it. So that's not great for us. I didn't realize that would be the case. But we can go ahead and I guess get around that by just placing down the staircase there and then connecting it in with a platform. A little more pricey than just the building itself, I guess, because now we need planks to go ahead and get up to it, which is not great. But once that's done, we can go ahead and have them sleeping, and then we can go ahead and place down the scrappers and begin the process of getting some metal here, so we can go ahead and start turning into hopefully building some dynamite. I'm going to go ahead and place down the buildings just so that we have them kind of halfway built, hopefully, by the time we start generating some scrap here. So this is a 2x3 building. Can we put it here? No, the windmill's too big. We can go ahead and rearrange the road though and just have it next to one of the buildings. I think that should work, right? Let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and scooch the pathway again, and then hopefully we can just squeeze it in there. There we go, and that should be good. I don't think we can go ahead and place anything else there. We might be able to squeeze a windmill in here though, just to get some more power out of it. Yeah, we can place a windmill if we wanted to go ahead and try and get some sort of use out of this little corner of the map here. So let me go ahead and do that. And those will go ahead and start getting built. What else can we place down in the meantime here that we need getting produced? We need one of these things back in this town to go ahead and bring in the stuff from the other district. So let me go ahead and place that here. For right now, that should be fine. I'm waiting for the science points to be generated so we can hopefully unlock that last warehouse. I don't really want to waste the time building the large warehouse, since the bigger one is going to store 4,000 versus the 1,000, and it's only going to cost 20 gears, 40 gears. So that's pretty cheap compared to building that thing that we're just going to end up removing anyways. Okay, so this place is done getting connected, and it's still saying that it's not connected by the city. Oh, you know what? Do we have to place a pathway on the platform? There we go. Okay, that's what it was. So now this place is fully connected. Let's go ahead and place down some of the metal scrapping things. And I don't know if we need to toggle the area to harvest this stuff, or if he's just going to auto go and do it. So we don't actually have to highlight it or anything. The beaver is just automatically going and harvesting the scrap from it. So let's go ahead and place down a couple more of these things. We have, I think, 3 beavers in this area that are unemployed. So we can go ahead and place down another 3 of those. Those are within range, right? Yeah, they should be in range of that thing, so we should be good. There we go. Now we have 3 of them doing it, and that's going to generate some scrap for us. I don't know where that's going to go. Is it going to go into this thing? It should go into this thing. Okay, cool. Let me also have these guys drag it back to this place so that we have the scrap coming into the main base here. It's going to be that one there. Let's go ahead and do that. Does it tell me how much I'm going to get out of this big pile of ruins? It does not. It tells me 45, but I don't know if it's just that piece of metal. Yeah, it's definitely that piece of metal. So we should get a decent amount of scrap out of this thing. So hopefully we have the explosives factory up and going here shortly. So we have a bit of paper backlogged right now. We have 52 because this thing's been running for a little bit here. What I want to go ahead and do is plop one over here in the farm field, right? And one over here in the lumber yard. I don't know if it's going to have any effect on the lumber or not, but if it does and it makes the trees grow any quicker, that would be great for us. But I'm going to go ahead and plop the first one over here and hopefully it gets built. I want to go ahead and place it somewhere where it kind of has a big radius. So it does a 3x3 on the sides here. So if we can go ahead and place it to go ahead and get 3 of the potato things and then a whole bunch of carrots, that would be pretty good right there. Let me go ahead and remove this. How do I remove the crop here? All right, so with the crop removed here, let's go ahead and place our first beehive. Let's have the entrance facing the road here. I don't think that's really going to matter, but we should have that built kind of quickly here. I think we have a bunch of planks backlogged as well. We have 14. Okay, not that much, but that should go ahead and get built somewhat quickly. I'm going to also place one down here so we can go in 3, and this one should be the 4th one here. Let me go ahead and disable this from being planted, and then we can go ahead and have someone come in here and remove this thing as well. Actually, no, that's the wrong one. We need to go to that one and remove that. That should go ahead and be removed. And then we'll go ahead and throw a beehive right there as well. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything, but if it does, great. If not, then it's not the end of the world here. And then over here on the other side of the river, I want to go ahead and turn this whole area kind of into a wheat field. So I want to go from here on over to about there. Maybe there should be about enough. So that's going to be a decent amount of wheat being generated. And I also want to sprinkle in maybe a couple of the beehives as well to go ahead and boost the production of the wheat here so that we have bread being produced pretty frequently here, hopefully. So if we actually go ahead and pause the game really quick, we can actually do this in one go and then just knock out little things in the dirt here to go ahead and place down the beehive. So I'm going to pause it right there. And if we go ahead and just count on in, oh, we can't actually see the little tile thing. Can I see the tiles if I go here? I can. Okay, so we go in 3, and then that one should be good. And then we go in another 3, and that should be the entire square. So then we can only have 2 of these beehives here then, if that's the case, because it's going to go out 3, and then this back row is not going to have the beehive affecting it. So let's just go ahead and plop down 2 more beehives, and then this little area should be good. Is this overlapping? It's not overlapping. Okay, good. So let's actually remove these 2 layers of dirt then so that we're not wasting time, I guess, building those or having those harvested. So let's just go ahead and do that, and that should be good. And we need 1 more row deleted, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to be a decent amount of wheat being produced and boosted by the beehives. I don't know how much more the beehive is going to affect the growth rate, though. So it could be something really small or it could be kind of big. But we're going to go ahead and let those things get produced here. We are still, I think we have enough scrap coming through, right? Yeah, we are just about done on the scrap here. The gears are what's going to be the time-consuming thing here. We might also want to place down more of these guys producing planks because one of these is not really all that great anymore. We might need need 2 or 3 of these things down, producing the planks, because I think the planks are also used for the gears. Yeah, the gears are using them, and that's it. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and build some more of these things as well. And I think for that, we're just going to go ahead and scoot the road again, just so that we can go ahead and get to placing down more buildings. I don't want to delete the windmill on accident. Let's not do that. That would be great. And where's that thing at? It should be here. We need the plank thing. Let's go ahead and place down you there and you there, and then we can go ahead and refill the pathway, and it should be good to go. You all connected in? You're all connected in. Okay, cool. So the floodgate that we placed down is done getting built, which I didn't realize it, but having the floodgate over there is causing the entire place back here to flood. So it's not great, but it's not terrible, right? Because we don't have anybody here. We don't plan on ever having anybody here again unless we rearrange the floodgate or something. So for right now, I don't mind that it's flooding, but it looks kind of cool, right? It flooded the entire area. It's even flooding the little lake that we had here that was just like a hole in the ground that filled up with water now. So that caused the entire hill over here to go ahead and turn green, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully the water stays in there pretty long. I do want to go ahead and blast a little river through it with the dynamite when we get it produced, so hopefully we have water in there more consistently, and maybe we can go ahead and staircase up and do something with the top bit here if the water can go ahead and fill this thing consistently once we blow a line through here. But we're kind of having it flood the berries, and I don't really want it to flood the berries. We do have the drought kicking off in half a day, so hopefully this doesn't last that long, and then as the season starts again, we can go ahead and lower the floodgate, I guess. It might be better just to go ahead and hold it at half a door instead of the full height. But anyways, most of the stuff over here is done getting built. So we have the scrapper done. We have this guy producing metal now, so that's good. We have 2 more plank buildings producing planks, which is also nice. I also went ahead and placed down the explosive building on the backside here to go ahead and have it start being built. So that'll go ahead and get done eventually as well. We might also want to go ahead and place down another paper mill too, because the explosive factory is going to need paper to produce explosives, and I don't know what else is going to need paper. For sure the beehives, if we go ahead and place down more of those. And I believe the next thing also needs paper, which is the knowledge thing, which I can't remember where that's at. I think it's this right here, the printing press. Yeah, we need paper to go ahead and produce books, and that's going to increase our beaver's knowledge here. So that might be something we want to go ahead and double up on, maybe triple up on, because it's relatively cheap, right? It's 1 log per 2 pieces of paper, so it's not too terrible. We also went ahead and placed down another water wheel because we're not producing enough power through the line, I don't think, to run these things. Which we might be, we might not be. Yeah, this thing's only at 70% productivity, so I think we're not producing enough power. We can go ahead and actually plug this thing in because it's not currently plugged into the buildings. And do we have someone working in the metal thing? We do have someone working in the metal thing. Do we have metal being produced? We don't have any metal currently in our storage, so we don't have anything to use it on. But let's go ahead and unlock the last little storage building for 1,000 points. And that's going to allow us to store 4,000 items in it instead of the current, what do we have in here? 200, and then the next tier was 1,000. So this is going to be 4,000 items. I want to go ahead and actually place the first one down over here, so that we can go ahead and store the planks and the paper and the explosives and maybe the metal here as well. If I can put that into this building, we'll go ahead and do that. So that way these guys don't have to walk all the way back over here to go ahead and drop their stuff off. Hopefully is what this is going to allow us to go ahead and try and kind of mitigate the downtime here. We need to quickly drop the floodgate here because I didn't realize the flooding was coming all the way down here now. We have 2 science buildings out of commission, and all of our little buildings over here producing the scrap metal are out of commission as well because the flood got really out of hand there. I didn't realize it was that bad. So by dropping the floodgate, hopefully that kind of decreases the amount of water going on right now. I don't know how bad that's going to get. It's still coming and flooding more area here. Let me put it into double time and hopefully we can kind of see if that's going to have an effect or not. Okay, cool. The drought kicked off and it's immediately drying out, but I don't know if that's because of the drought or because of the floodgates. So hopefully that's gonna not happen again. But we have scrap being produced again. Our berries dried out, so that's good news for us. And we can go ahead and drop the floodgate here if we need water back in this river. And we can also drop this floodgate now to go ahead and put water back into this river because this one is going to dry out. There's an inevitability here that it will go ahead and dry out because we have so much stuff pulling water for their things here. So we're going to absolutely need to go ahead and flood the river again at some point during the drought. I don't think it gets any longer than 7 days because it's been 7 days for, I believe, the last 2 droughts now, last 3 droughts or something like that. We might honestly want to change out the dam over here to be floodgates as well so that we can stop the water flowing into the main lake here, because there's no point in having the water drain right now, especially during the drought. So that might be something we want to change out as well here. Let me see. We can't walk over the top of these is the thing though. I'm actually going to go ahead and leave that alone for right now. I'm not too worried about it, but eventually when we do start producing the explosives here, which should be in a little while here, we're really slow right now. I think we might want to throw another water wheel down. It's going to be even worse right now because we don't have water flowing. But eventually when we do start producing the explosives, I plan on lowering the riverbed down by 1 block because the water producers can actually consume or get the water from a depth of 2. So right now we're only doing 1. So if we lower it down by 1, we're going to double the water storage in our riverbed here, and then hopefully be able to store double the water. And we might also go ahead and go through and place down these guys, which are the double platforms, right? Because these count as a solid object, so we can build on top of these. So what I want to go ahead and do is put these through the river after we drop it, and then we might be able to go ahead and put more of the water consuming things in the river here instead of having them on the shoreline. So that way we have them pulling water from the system here, and hopefully we can place down more farms and stuff to go ahead and produce more food. We have a couple of the beehives done though, so does this tell me anything else after we have it placed? It does not. Do these things have a buff on them? It does not appear so. These ones produce 3 carrots. These ones produce 3 carrots. So maybe all it does is make them grow faster, because that one's at 73%. These were all planted relatively at the same time. And the one that doesn't have the beehive right now is at 72%. It just went up from 71%. And this one's at 74%. So this one's only 2% faster, I guess, maybe. Kind of depending. Maybe it'll change as we get a new cycle of crops in. I'm not quite sure there. These ones are still growing. This one's not done getting built yet. What do we need? We need planks in that thing. So now that we have the other storage thing unlocked, I want to go ahead and start building out the neighborhood here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut off this little section because it's kind of janky otherwise. So what we're going to go ahead and do is pause the game so we can go ahead and build without having them kind of start placing things down in case we want to rearrange things. So we'll have this thing here, and we'll go down the line here to go ahead and place as many of these houses as we can, but we can't actually place down 4 in a row. So let's go ahead and remove that one and rearrange it so it's like that. And how big is the storage thing? Is it 3 wide? It's 3 wide. Dang it. How big is the water thing, though? The tier 2 water thing. The tier 2 water thing is 2 wide. So let's actually place that here. Can I place it like that and then have the pathway going into it? I can indeed. Okay, cool. So that kind of makes use of that little corner there. And then we need stairs connecting all of these other ones in. So we could either do it like this and just have them going down into a pathway, which would save on planks because we need double the planks if we want to have a platform going up to it, which we really don't want to do. So that kind of saves us the headache of having those things down. How much does this thing store? It stores 300 water. Okay, so maybe we don't need a whole lot of those. Let's actually place down 1 more, I guess, just for the sake of having 2 of these things down. And we'll go ahead and place that on the other side of this. Actually, we'll hold off on placing that for the time being. Let's run a pathway down the middle here to go ahead and connect all the houses in. And then let's see how we can wiggle this thing in. We want to place down, I think... what is a good? Let's place down 3 of these, I think, but these don't actually have to be like right in the proximity of these houses. We can actually place these like down here or something. It's not too big of an issue. I want to go ahead and focus in on placing down houses here instead. So we'll do another row of houses on this side of the thing. And we can go ahead and space those so we can actually have the staircases here as well. And then we'll do the same thing here. And that should be good. So we can go ahead and connect these stairs in like this. And that should be another row of houses done. And then all we're going to do is double up on these things now. So we're going to go 1 more layer up and connect all of these ones in with platforms. So something like that should work. And then I believe we need double platforms, I think, to go ahead and connect those guys in. Are double platforms high enough? They are not high enough. Okay, so we need, actually they might be. We can just go ahead and staircase over to them. What about a triple platform? We can go ahead and do a triple platform over the top of the stairs there. And all we would need to do is connect those in. Actually, could I do a double over the thing? I could do a double over the thing and have a double over this thing as well. And then we would still need the staircase though. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do the triple platform here. We can go ahead and connect this all in like this, and it'll be over the top of these guys. If I could get the thing to go over the pathway, that would be fantastic. So that should be good. And then we can connect these all in like that. And then all we got to do is run a staircase to the top there, but I'm not quite sure how we do that. Let's go ahead and see. Can we go, we need a double thing there, and then we would need a single thing there, and we can go ahead and connect into it like that. Actually, let's remove this one so that we can have the pathway going underneath and connecting into the main one here. So that, oops, that should be good. And then if we place the double one here, that wouldn't work because we have to go sideways. I don't think the beavers can walk sideways. We would have to place it here, and the pathway is still usable. Okay, so I figured the pathway wouldn't be usable. That's why I didn't want to place it there, but that should be fine. You know what? We still kind of run into the same issue with the stairs kind of running into each other. So I'm going to go ahead and rearrange the platforms here so that we have stairs going into the houses instead of the platform. Okay, so that should work. We have all the houses connected now. We have the staircase kind of being a little janky here, but there's really not much we can do about that. So that's the best I think we're going to get out of it. And then we can go ahead and place down the other water tank here. We're going to scoot that back just so it's in the same kind of layout as that one here. And then we can go ahead and connect the pathways in so that we can actually have them using these things. So we have 600 water storage by the houses. You know what? I think I'm actually going to change this one more time, and we're going to add one more layer of houses to this thing. So let me go ahead and do that really quick because I kind of don't like the way the stairs look like this. I'm going to go ahead and try and zigzag them up the side of the building instead of having them do this. So this is what we're going to go ahead and stick with. We have 24 houses down. Once they're done getting built, we should have a capacity of, I believe, 216-ish beavers going ahead and living in this little area. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is place down the storage stuff as well. So we're going to go and drag a road out here. Do we have connection to that area? We do indeed. Okay, cool. So all we're going to do is place down, I believe, 4 of these for right now. I don't think we need more than that. We could come back and place more at a later date. I'm not too worried about it right now. Actually, could we wiggle this around to squeeze in more? We could place one there, and then we'd have some open space, and we can connect that one like that. Let's remove this guy. So we have 4 right now. What if we run a road here? Can we connect into these guys, or are they out of range? They're also within range. Okay, cool. So we have 4 down. Let's place down one more. Actually, no. Yeah, let's just stick with 4 for right now. That's going to increase our storage as well. And then once those are done getting built, we're going to rearrange these guys again and remove them from our area so we have more farmland to go ahead and plant on. And I also want to go ahead and place down more of these guys, the log piles, to go ahead and remove the log piles that we have down right now because they're in the green zone and they don't need to be in the green zone. So they're also just eating up some of the farm space here. So we can go ahead and place these right here. I'm not too worried about that. We have 2 of them down right now. Let's place down 3 because we are at capacity pretty consistently here. So we can go ahead and remove those guys once those are done getting built again. And then over here on the back side of the houses, I want to go ahead and place down the leisure items. So we're going to go ahead and stick with the campfires right now because I don't want to place these on top of the houses and make them any bigger than they already are. And the campfires should be just enough for them to go ahead and be happy as well. So we'll go ahead and place this one here, and then we'll go ahead and place a few more along the side here to go ahead and try and get as many of the beavers in these areas as we can. So for right now, we'll stick with 5. If we need more than that, we'll go ahead and place down more, but I think 5 should be enough to go ahead and like meet the requirement for our beavers happiness thing and the stat thing there. So that'll go ahead and help out. And we have a nice little area here. We can probably squeeze something else in at a later date here, but for right now, that should be good. So we have a ton of stuff queued up, but I think for right now, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Hopefully most of this stuff can go ahead and begin getting worked on in between episodes here. It's going to take us a little while to go ahead and get that stuff built, but hopefully it's all built by next episode and we can go ahead and start kind of having a ton of beavers working in a bunch of odd jobs here, and we can go ahead and start blowing up our river to start storing more and more water for the next couple droughts here. But that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.